is episode number 42 of Thursday Ketchup, where we discuss our week in shows, games, whatever else we have going on. I'm Andrew.
I'm Joel.
No guest this week. Gonna talk about some spoilery things Matt didn't want to hear.
Hey, do you still hear that noise?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, weird. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Hopefully people listening to this don't hear that noise. We'll find out.
I turned on noise suppression. Which, well, do you have a game or something?
I do.
Oh, alright. Let's go then.
Alright, this is very important if you were following on Twitter. Which of these are the names of our new cats? Is it Domino and Grace, or Valentine and Lola?
I'm gonna go with Domino and Grace. Just because, like, I know kids like to name things for things they see laying around. I could assume that Domino is a domino, and Grace is maybe a family member?
Well, these are the names that the shelter had given them. I don't think we changed them officially yet.
Oh. So, that is their names, though?
Domino and Grace are the names of our dogs.
Oh.
Valentine and Lola are the names of the cats.
Gotcha.
Valentine's the black and white one. We think named that because, like, one of the spots on his paw looks like a heart.
Hmm.
And I don't know where Lola's name came from.
The Lola and Stitch.
Yeah, that's it. Close.
But yeah, what I was... The reason I asked if you had a game is because we can get right into my first thing, which is I built a computer.
Say, well, you can go first, and you can talk all about that.
Did you, have you built a computer before?
With Matt's help, I did a long time ago.
Yeah.
Never done it on my own. It seems too daunting of a task for somebody who has little knowledge of hardware.
Yeah, like, I don't have that much. I mean, I guess it's my job. But I've replaced parts of my computer before, but I'd never installed a processor, put a motherboard in a case or anything like that. Just because the one computer I had bought in the past, I bought when I was visiting Matt to play PlanetSide 2 on. Like, well, other than that, I'd had like laptops was all I'd had before that. So I've replaced parts in that, like mostly. Well, I've added RAM and what is it? I've put in hard drives and I replaced the video card.
On a laptop?
No, on the computer I built when I was going to visit Matt.
Gotcha.
Or not built, bought. So I basically decided that those new Ryzen processors were affordable, and someone had a motherboard for sale on SA Mart, which is really cheap, something awful, on their forums. So they had like a pretty decent motherboard for sale for $50. So I was like, all right, I'll buy that.
Sure.
I guess we talked a little bit about it when Ed was here, and it hadn't arrived yet.
Yeah.
Well, it arrived 2 days later, which was 2 days late. And there was a lot of tape around the packaging, and it was really flimsy. So I was like, well, hopefully this thing isn't damaged in some way. So I like opened up the package, and it's clear from the way that box was taped, it had been penetrated by something.
Oh no.
So I opened the brown box, and inside is the white box for the motherboard. And that box also had been penetrated by something. So I opened that box, and the ESD, or the electrostatic shield, or the bag that it comes in, was also penetrated. So I take it out of the bag. The ATX connector on it, which is the power, basically the main power to the board, that connector was all jacked up. Like it was just broken.
Nice.
Somebody
also, just like stab it.
It seems like, I don't know. It seems like the mail carriers were just throwing it around or something, and it landed on a fence post or something. I have no idea how that could have happened. Or they like slid something into it, maybe, or maybe it got jammed into with a forklift.
As somebody who's worked at a mail sorting facility, all of those things are possibilities.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you used to work over there. I forgot.
I did for a couple months.
That entry though. Didn't you?
I actually worked at the mail sorting facility. Actually, like handling mail, putting it in bins and stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Charlie Kelly?
Sort of. It was certainly interesting to see how the mail works.
I mean, it's like a big logistical challenge, right?
It's mostly computers at this point. Like, the imaging software they have is so ridiculous now. Because the reason they needed all those data entry people is because the computers couldn't read, like, handwriting and stuff on where stuff was supposed to go. Right. But now the computers do, like, 99.9% of the work on that.
Oh. Yeah, because I wonder if they use CAPTCHA for that stuff. Because I know that's what a big part of CAPTCHA is, like, aside from trying to make sure that you're not a robot. The things that they plug in there are things that computers weren't able to read in the past, or weren't able to automatically scan and tell what it was saying. So they offload that kind of identification of text to CAPTCHA.
I'd heard about that. It's kind of an interesting use for it.
Yeah, it is. So the motherboard was broken, which was a huge bummer. Like I was really looking forward to like I had everything I needed to start like going, and yeah, it was just a bummer that was broken. And there aren't a ton of like brick and mortar computer parts stores.
Yeah.
That sell the kind of board that I wanted. But it just so happened like the one that I went into that day, like it sucks and it's backwards, but when you buy things, like I could have bought the board that I bought at this store for about $60 or $70, the one I ended up getting. Then it was pretty much the same as the one that I had bought from the dude, but I bought it from this store and it was $100. It was like $30 more than I would have paid, but it's paid $30 for being impatient, basically.
I know about that.
Yeah. So I got the Ryzen 5 1600. I don't know if are you familiar? How familiar are you with computers?
With hardware stuff, not very.
Oh. So AMD released some like. This year they released some really affordable 8-core processors that are pretty good, and I bought the one that I thought seemed the most cost like bang for your buck, basically, which is the Ryzen 5 1600. So I started putting all that stuff together when I realized that. And everything went well. Like the thermal paste was like already on the fan that I put on my processor and everything. So that was super easy. And really it's just plugging in everything in, really. I mean, it's like a jigsaw puzzle, basically.
Yeah.
This connector fits here. I'll plug that right there. So I did all that stuff. But when I was putting in my my graphics card, I have this really big case, but the graphics card I have is so long that it wouldn't go in all the way.
I have that issue sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you do. So my solution was there's all this like fancy trim on the graphics card that I have, because it's it's a gaming thing, and they try to do that. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's just it really like plays to like people's immaturities, I think, to like gussy that stuff up.
Yeah.
They do it in either way. So what I did is basically I decided to just cut like part of the trim off, and this trim is around one of the fans. Like my graphics card has 3 fans on it, so I cut the top of it off. I had to cut this plastic piece off. I couldn't just take off the thing because one of the screws was in from the backside, so I had to cut it. So I cut the top off, and then I went to cut the bottom off. When I cut the bottom off, I noticed that there was some like colored stuff like in the bottom. And good. Upon further inspection, I had cut little power wires to all of my fans on my GPU.
Oh, you need those.
Yeah, you kind of need those. So basically, I think I plugged my old computer back in just for the night. I said, screw it, I'm not going to mess with it right now. And then the next day I went, and some of the wires were still there. They were just cut. And I was able to pull them out, like, because they smashed in on that piece of plastic I cut off. So I pulled out the wires and basically stripped each of these 7 tiny little wires individually and twisted them together and put a little bit of electrical tape on them, which probably took about an hour, and plugged it in, and it worked. Well, it didn't work, actually. So I went and I plugged it in, and I could see that the fans were working and everything, but I wasn't getting any video signal coming from the card. But that turned out to just be like I wasn't getting video signal from either source, like either the onboard or the graphics card, which it turns out that there's no APU support for the current CPUs, the versions of the Ryzen CPUs that I had. So I was trying to do it from there, thinking that it would be a more surefire way to get video out of the card, but I eventually found out that that's not the way to go, so I plugged in my GPU, and now I have a really good computer plugged into my new 4K TV.
Nice.
I heard you have a birthday coming up.
I do. Or at least my daughter does. So we had to go get all the stuff for that.
It's like having a birthday.
Yeah.
Tell me you're not going to eat cake and ice cream.
Oh, I'm definitely doing that. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. Have you ever heard of Shimmer and Shine?
I have not.
It's a kid's show. They're 2 genies that's grant wishes for the most part. That's all I know about the show. But that's her current thing she's into, so luckily any of those kids shows, they have like all the crap at Party City that you need. So you just go there, grab like one of everything, and call it good.
Yeah.
And right next to our Party City is also a Dollar Tree, so anything extra, you just go in there and grab.
Nice.
So all in all, it's going to be fairly cheap. You looked into going to like the arcade kind of thing we have here?
Right.
It was no, this is the like arcade mini golf.
Oh, right. Yep.
Go-kart place.
Gotcha.
It was minimum of 8 people, and I believe the one package that was actually worth getting was $17 per person.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be $150.
Like 135.
Somewhere around there.
Something like that, yeah.
That would be for like an hour and a half of sitting at the table, like eating. They give you like 2 pieces of pizza each.
Jeez.
An hour of mini golf, and like 20 tokens, which everything costs like 2 tokens there, so you'd play 10 games.
Right.
I actually went there a week, 2 weeks ago. Half the games weren't working.
What's their game selection like? Last time I went, it wasn't great.
It's all ticket games anymore.
Yeah,
of
it's
course.
Yeah, there's barely any like regular arcade games in there. It's all like get the thing in the thing so you can get some tickets.
They have been doing some more skill games, which I like better than like the light is going to flash around, press the button.
Right. Yeah, those are.
Or insert coin, slide down ramp. The one they had there, like the new ones they have, like not actually beer pong, but it is beer pong, if we're being honest.
Really?
They'll have like the cup set up, and you have to try and get balls in each of the cups, and for however many you get it in, you get so many tickets.
Is there like someone there setting it up?
The cups just are like glued to the thing, and I think there must be like a sensor inside of them that can tell when the ball goes in.
My cat's being real needy right now.
The other one they had was like a cornhole thing, except there was a circle on it with 3 holes that kind of spins around. You have to throw the bean bags in there. That's kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And like the goldfish bowls with ping pong balls that you have to throw them in. There's like the most points in the center, and along the outside's less. So there's some actual skill games instead of like the luck. Just throw coins in type of games, which is kind of nice.
What's your stance on skee ball?
It's alright. Nothing special.
Yeah, I'm alright with it. I kind of like skee ball. It's another skill game.
It is a good time. Get up in that corner at 10,000 points.
Yeah. I used to always do this thing where I would bank it off the side, and I felt like that I always did better when I did that for some reason.
Not sure. I'm pretty sure there's a YouTube channel of somebody like doing all of these games ridiculously.
Right.
I do remember reading a thing on Reddit about somebody who went to like Dave and Buster's as his job to like win prizes and then resell them.
Oh, wow.
He was like, you go to this game, do this thing, because you'll get the maximum amount of tickets per thing as long as you know the pattern.
Right.
But then they were catching on to all this stuff, so they were like changing the games or changing what you could get with tickets.
Right.
It's kind of like a whole thing.
The house always wins.
Pretty much. So yeah, the party, we're planning McDonald's for lunch, and we have a McDonald's as like the play area, so they can run around in there and play in all the other kids' germs.
Right.
That'll be cheap, because they don't want like last year we just had all our friends over and all our family over at the same time. It was way too many people in the house.
Yeah.
Thought we'd break it up a little bit.
That's cool.
So yeah, we're gonna do that, and I'll be grilling for dinner. Hot dogs, hamburgers, normal stuff that's cheap.
You must have lost my invite in the mail. That's cool though.
Yeah.
Kind of shaky lately. So.
I didn't think you wanted to come down for that. It's this Saturday if you want to go.
I'm just messing with you. It's a long drive.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Are you gonna try to check out the eclipse on next Monday?
I don't think it's gonna be anywhere near me. The like full part anyway.
Yeah, not the total eclipse. I'm gonna be driving up north to try to check that out.
Don't recommend looking directly at it.
You can when it's a total eclipse.
Still.
Total eclipse. I don't know exactly how dark it's supposed to be. I haven't looked that up at all. They say total eclipse, so I don't know.
Who knows?
I hope it's cool.
How often do these things happen?
The last one that was over the United States was 1917, so 100 years ago.
Jeez.
Or 20. Yeah, it was either 90 or 100 years ago. But the next one is like in 7 years. But it's not over our location.
Weird.
It's further south.
I feel like we've had a couple. Maybe that's lunar I'm thinking of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like there was one that I remember from high school, or not high school, grade school. There's a partial eclipse. You know, you like cut out the little
Yeah.
paper thing, the paper plates. Did you guys do that?
I recall people doing that. I don't think we actually did it, though.
We did that at school. Like, I think it's you take the paper plates and you can see like the outline of the moon on the sun. Like if you look at the shadow on the ground or something.
Yeah, something like that. Should we talk about Game of Thrones?
Sure.
I assume we were up to date.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about it since like the first or second episode.
Yeah, I think the second or third.
Since then, we had the giant battle with the Lannisters and the Dothraki.
Dude, I was so stoked about the last episode. Not this week, but the week before.
That was a good one.
That was like I literally made noise like like when Arya was sparring with Brienne. Spoilers.
Yeah.
And also when the giant dragon battle happened, I was super excited.
Do you think she actually has control over all 3 dragons, or just the one at this point?
I don't think that's going to be a problem. I don't think that's going to be a plot point that that she can't control him. If it is, it'll be that she finds 2 other people that can control him.
That would make sense. I guess you got Jon Snow as one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely going to happen, I think, is him riding a dragon at some point.
That wouldn't surprise me after last week where he's
this week.
giving him a pat on the nose.
Yeah. And he's like a legitimate Targaryen, actually. Like,
yeah.
Did you catch that?
Yeah. The last episode of last season pretty much confirmed it to all the things I read.
Well, he's not just a bastard Targaryen. Like, he's an actual, like, his last name should be Targaryen because you heard Gilly talking? Yeah,
that was interesting.
So, like, he got his previous marriage, Jon's real dad Rhaegar got his previous marriage annulled and got married to Lyanna Stark. Like, so, and not that it matters. I don't think it's going to come up, really. It might. I kind of doubt it. But,
yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to play in.
Yeah, it's going to be weird if they do both the love story between him and Dany.
Yeah.
And that she's his aunt?
Let's see. How would that work out?
Or
Rhaegar would be her dad's brother?
I think Rhaegar is her brother, I think. I think Rhaegar and Dany are brother and sister, if I'm not mistaken.
Could be. I can't exactly remember with all these weird names.
Because Aegon, I'm pretty sure, was their dad. Was Rhaegar and Dany's dad. I'm pretty sure that's right. Somebody's screaming at us right now. If anybody's...
Somebody might be. Either way.
So that was super exciting, and also... the Arya stuff. This week was a little bit slower, though, right?
A little bit, kind of setting some things up before I think it's next week, the finale?
No, there's 2 more left.
2 more. Yeah, with the stuff with Arya and Littlefinger, is he just setting them up to fight against each other?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think basically, did you see what it was that she was reading?
I saw some of the words on it, and I never bothered to go look at what it actually said. meant to and just didn't.
It was the letter that Sansa, I think it was the Raven Sansa sent, that basically, what's her name? What's that? Dang it. Cersei. Cersei made her right, like in season 1. Saying that, or trying to get Rob, I think, to come. I can't remember exactly. Again, somebody screamed.
This is sounding familiar.
Yeah, basically.
I don't remember it exactly.
They were basically, Cersei was in Sansa's ear saying that her dad's a traitor, and basically forced her to write this Raven. Send this Raven up there. Hold on 1 second. Okay, yes, Daenerys is Rhaegar's sister. So she's Jon's aunt.
Yep, that would make sense.
Anyways.
So what's the plan that he's trying to pull off here? Is he trying to be King of the North or something? Littlefinger.
I think he just wants them to be at odds, so to kind of distract from whatever he's just. It might just be to just take attention away from him. I don't know. I would assume there's more going on with it than that.
Yeah, it would make sense. Try and split them up so he can work his way in there.
Yeah, I don't really know what he'd like. It seems like he'd have to have some kind of leverage or like carrot on a stick, or like some kind of power to get with Sansa, which I assume is his goal. I don't know if he's given up on that. I don't think he has.
Doesn't seem like it.
I think that's what he's trying to do.
Not sure how. Like, he has pretty much the bulk of their entire army is the people he's in charge of. So you just be like, well, I'm taking off if we don't get married or something.
Yeah, there's that. Although I don't think that would go over well with a lot of the people that he's in charge of. So I don't think he could do that. But you never know with this show. Like, that was one of the things that irritated me about this episode. I thought there were two possible options, like, that could happen with Jaime at the end of last episode. I was like, either he's going to drown, which I didn't like that at all. I would rather get roasted by the dragon than drown like that. Which, as it was happening, I was like, oh crap, is Jaime gonna die right now? And so I was like, I don't want Jaime to die. And then I was like, I don't know, going out like charging a dragon with a spear is a pretty badass way to die. So I would have like kind of liked if he died right there, but also, so I figured either he was gonna drown or get captured. Yeah,
I kind of was on the getting captured side.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But apparently, him and Bronn are mermen and swam across the river.
Yeah, not sure on that one.
People are saying it was the current that dragged him, but he was. There was also the fact that he was running through water on the beach of the river, and then Bronn must have jetpacked him over like the middle of the river somehow. That was. I don't know. That's pretty silly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I kind of know a spoiler for what's going to eventually happen, or at least what they're building towards happening. And for that to happen, Jaime can't die yet, so I knew he wasn't going to die there at least.
Yeah. Yes.
You probably don't want to hear it.
That was too much. I don't want any of these production spoilers.
Yeah. Well, it's not production, it's something that actually happened in the show that they talked about. But yeah, I won't wreck it for you. It kind of... Yeah, it's a big deal, we'll say.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah, the guys going up north, how many of those guys are going to be dead before they come back?
I don't. At least some of them. Like, I assume Tormund can't die because he's in charge of the wildlings, and there's really no one else that's a wildling that we care about. And John, definitely not going to die, right?
Yeah, he can't die.
Safe bet. Although Jorah,
I think Jorah's gone.
might be gone.
That
Who
whole...
else? There's Beric and the Hound and Thoros.
Yeah.
Any of them could probably go. Probably not the Hound, though.
Yeah, it seems like his story's not done yet.
Yeah. And I would assume... I bet Thoros is... Or not Thoros. I bet Beric is gone. I bet Beric, like...
Does some heroic thing and...
Yeah, I bet that's his fate up there.
That would make the most sense. Yeah.
Thoros could go too. I'm not sure. Although he could still like bring the Hound back to life later or something, so he could still have like plot relevant like use.
You could see that.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think's going on with Bran?
Who knows? I don't like the whole three-eyed raven thing.
Yeah,
he's being like super creepy and weird about everything. It's like he knows all this stuff, but he only knows some stuff. And he can see the past. Can he see the future? I'm not entirely clear on that.
Yeah. They haven't laid out his like capabilities.
Yeah, he's just being like super emo and weird. I'm sure he'll be, because he saw like the vision of Jon being one of the Targaryens, so, and they brought that up. He's like, I need to talk to Jon about some stuff.
Yeah.
And they have the other guy who is the supposedly son of the former king that should be the actual king.
Right.
He's hanging out with them now. So
yeah, Gendry's up there too, north.
I don't know what he's doing exactly.
Did Davos and Gendry both go with north of the wall?
I think Davos didn't, because he was like, I'm not a fighting guy. You guys go do fighting.
Yeah.
Did find it funny when the wildling guy asked if they brought the big girl.
Yeah. And Jon, like a knowing, like, kind of...
Yeah, those guys are going to be doing some stuff, so I'm pretty sure he's not going to die.
Yeah. Yeah. That's still I stand by that being my favorite show. Like,
it's very good. Contender for best show of the year.
Yeah, last episode, not this week, but the week before, man. Probably my favorite of this show.
Only other thing I had was, what do you think about her killing the two Tarly guys with fire? Is that cool? Or should she not be doing that?
I don't know. Like, she gave him a choice. Like, I don't know what they expected or anyone else expects. She's like, join me or die. And they chose die. So.
Yeah. It's two options.
Like, I actually heard people kind of jokingly discussing part of this on a podcast yesterday or today about how it's really wow, it's really a pain in the ass to keep prisoners. Like,
yeah,
they're not grateful for being alive. They're just they just drag you down. I think so.
That's kind of what cost Robb Stark, was dragging around all these prisoners and treating them the way you're supposed to.
Yeah, it definitely didn't help.
Yeah.
No Geneva Convention in Westeros.
Afraid not.
We got dragons and we're going to use them.
That'll be fun. Got one season after this one to see some dragon action.
Yep. Yep.
Should be
That
good
was only
times.
6 episodes, I think, right?
Yeah. Not entirely sure.
And
Alright.
that's
What about games? We haven't talked games yet.
So you said we're gonna play some WoW.
That's the plan.
I made a character, and that's as far as I got. I'm gonna rely on you to tell me what to do. I made a
Tauren.
monk.
Nice.
So
Surprised they let you play as a monk. That's like one of the classes they released in an expansion.
oh really?
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
So I hope that's cool. I'm gonna punch and kick stuff.
Yep.
Be generally badass. Hopefully, that's the plan.
You did pick like one of the toughest classes to play.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he
They
looks-
have like combo points, which is like a whole system that you have to watch for.
Yeah. Well, I don't expect to be playing very much. So
No, it's pretty easy once you kind of get used to it. And when you first start out, it really holds your hand a lot.
that's good.
It's basically find people who have a yellow exclamation point above their head, right click on them, accept whatever quest they have, and then go kill rabbits or find flowers or whatever they want you to do.
Yeah. I expected it to be more isometric, I guess, or if that's the word. Like, I expected it to be like Diablo, where you're clicking on where you want to go.
Nope.
But you're actually, like, moving around and stuff.
Yeah, I kind of like that better than Diablo. Personally.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see. Man, my cat was just sitting up here, and I think that's with my allergies right now.
That'll do it. Yeah,
But-
the plan so far, there's like 4 to 5 dungeons you can do as free-to-play accounts, so we're trying to get everyone together to do those. Which I think would be fun.
What exactly?
Just record, put on YouTube.
Did you say something? I was sniffling everything you said.
The plan is to play some free accounts through dungeons and record those.
So how's that work? Like, when does it become not free anymore?
Level 20 is the cap for free-to-play accounts.
Gotcha. So yeah, so I made that character, and I've also been playing Ori and the Blind Forest, which is, I think I talked a little bit about it in the past, but it's a... Dude, what's your stance on Metroidvania games?
I'm a fan. I like them.
I never really have been in the past, I don't think. Like, I can't think of a single one I've beat. Like, what's a super common one that most people beat?
Probably Symphony of the Night on PlayStation, Castlevania.
No, I never played that.
Super Metroid.
Yeah. I probably played a little bit of that at some point,
Those are both really good ones.
but it's, yeah. So this is like a Metroidvania with, like, a lot of heavy platforming aspects. Have you played this?
I have not. I did see some screenshots you had put up of it. Looks pretty dope.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Those screenshots were kind of blurry for some reason. I don't know. But, yeah, it just looks really good. Like, it won a bunch of awards for art, and also the sound, like the music is really good. So basically, you like earn, like all Metroidvania games, I guess. You earn abilities as you go, and your progress is gated by what abilities you have. So like you can't get through this barrier unless you learn the ground stomp or whatever.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, which is fine. Like, I don't find myself backtracking to find that stuff all that much. Like, I'll do it if it's on my way back somewhere else. But I haven't so far. I haven't gone out of my way to do that stuff. But the abilities they give you are pretty good. Like the jumping. So the way the game controls is pretty good. It's a little bit difficult to learn the jumping because there's like a momentum you get, like because you can control your character in the air, but you start getting momentum like the more you move, right? So it's a little hard to be precise with that stuff. What else? You're kind of picking up health, and you have a kind of mana ability. Or you have basically you have a health bar, and you have, I'll call it a mana bar, which you have a couple abilities that you can use with. And one of the abilities you have with that is to create a save point. So everything is like almost everything all the saving that happens in the game is either you creating a save point, and very, very rarely there's automatic saves when you reach like a boss or something. So, and there's also like these fast travel points. I've only come across like 4 of those so far, I think, the fast travel points. And as well.
They're usually pretty scarce.
Yeah. So because it's incumbent on you to save whenever you find it necessary, I've never gotten to a spot where I just didn't save for a long time because I've been really cautious about that. But I could definitely see a situation where you just forget to save for a while and you come up against something where you didn't think there was going to be anything challenging right in front of you, but suddenly there is, and you have to do a bunch of platforming or fighting again to get back to where you were. That hasn't happened to me, but I could see how it could. But I really like the fact that you can save whenever you want, because I have been dying a lot in this game. Like, I think I'm 5 hours in, and I've died 150 times.
Jeez.
There's a death count on there, and a lot of that's like, not a lot, but a significant amount of that is me just throwing myself at a platforming challenge and just trying different things to screw around, not taking it too seriously. But the fact that you can create save points right before those kind of platforming sections. Did you ever play Super Meat Boy?
Don't believe I ever played that one.
There's just a swiftness to, like, as soon as you die, like, you're back at the save point. You can just go again. There's no load times or anything. You're just back in it. And you can go start doing whatever section of the game you were at again. So you can just kind of like screw around and throw yourself at those challenges, and without much repercussions, as long as you have a save point right there. So that makes the game, like, even though the game's really hard, it makes it bearable. Sorry. God, this cat. It makes it bearable, I think, that it is so hard, because you can just do that stuff, and because the game controls so well, like, I haven't gotten frustrated with it. Well, I take that back. Hold on. I didn't get to the mute button in time.
Close.
Where was it? Oh, yeah, there's like this part after the first boss where you have to escape something pretty quickly with an ability that you just got.
That's nice.
That was pretty difficult.
Yeah, I like when they do that.
And so, yeah, I probably died like 10 or 15 times there. But that's probably been the most frustrating part of the game for me. But yeah, it's really fun. Like, I usually don't like these kind of games, but I'm really liking this one.
Speaking of frustrating games, I've been playing a bunch more Enter the Gungeon. I finally made it to the 4th floor and the boss of that floor, who very quickly destroyed me.
You said you were. I thought, didn't you say you were struggling with the second floor?
Second floor was really where I was stuck for a while. I eventually made it to the third floor.
Right.
The third floor really ramps up the difficulty because there becomes like on the floor there will be random things like this shoots up fire, this whole shoot out spikes. These are just random pits everywhere, so you have to watch out for those as well as enemy bullets.
Is this a top down or is it
It's
side scroll?
top down for the most part.
So you're not jumping around or anything.
No, you dodge roll, which is I think the company that makes the game. It's called Dodge Roll.
Nice.
Which is kind of funny. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Did make it to that boss though. I was pretty happy to finally get past the third floor. Because the third floor boss, each floor has I think 3 different bosses you can get. And so far I've been getting lucky that I get the easy one on the third floor. But I did find out what I should have been doing is there's an elevator that takes you to each floor, and you can only go 1 floor at a time.
Right.
But there's a guy you can start giving things to. He's like, I need 120 of the game currency and 3 keys. Okay, now I need this. Okay, now I can just teleport you to the second floor now, instead of having to play the first floor over and over again. And just as you play through the game, you start collecting more and more of the stuff that he needs until you can eventually just go all the way to the last floor.
Oh, wow.
Which is how you most likely are supposed to actually beat the game. I've seen people playing it all the way through from the start, but it's incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
And
Is that another game where you're like, well, I guess you said it's 4x4. Never mind.
Yep, another roguelike.
So it is procedurally generated?
Yeah, each time it's something different.
Huh.
It is fun, though. I like getting all the different guns. That's probably the best part. The only bad part is, of course, you die and then lose them. It's some fun new guns. They have, like, the actual Mega Buster you can use as one of the guns, which is kind of cool. You can charge it up and shoot at things.
Yeah.
What's the one I was using? Proton Pack. Like Ghostbusters. It's the one I use the majority of the time to get to the 4th floor. That thing was super overpowered.
Right.
And the other one that was doing really well with was like a rocket launcher. But once it hit things, bees exploded out of it. And they would just float around the room killing guys for you.
Nice.
So all that was good.
Is fear? It's not the fear. The pain. Command of these. Or the chick from Jupiter Ascending.
I don't know that one.
It's a movie with Mila Kunis where she is a space queen, like an alien queen. For whatever reason, she can control bees on Earth. And Channing Tatum's in it. It has a dog nose.
Interesting. Also, the Bee movie featuring is it Jerry Seinfeld in that?
Yeah.
That's a good movie too. I actually wanted to talk about Hearthstone though, just a little bit. New expansion came out.
Meant to bring that up when we're done talking about WoW.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I've been making videos about each of the new cards that came out with this expansion. You can go to YouTube. Don't have like an actual link to the thing. They're super strict on what you have to do to get a official channel URL. Now you have to have like over 100 subscribers, like so many videos, all these other things.
Bitch.
I don't know that they had to do this before.
You're talking about on Twitch?
This is on YouTube.
No.
It's like your account has to be so many days old. I think it's like 90 days as well. So it's weird. And you have to do all these things, not just 1 or 2 of them. It's like, how am I supposed to get people to my page if I just have these random letters? But whatever.
Yeah.
I guess it's cutting down on people like squatting on names.
Just sniping.
Whatever. Yeah, check that out. It's gonna make some more fun videos. I meant to have one for last week's episode where it just showed like game footage while the episode plays, but the video editor I was using would not export the video. It takes some super weird file type that I could not figure out.
Huh.
I have no idea, because it's the free version of Lightworks.
Lightworks? I used, oh man, I wish I could remember. Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know, I tried a couple different things. I tried putting it in as a different video formats, and it suppressed the video and made it super fast for some reason. I have no idea why.
Huh.
I just couldn't figure it out. So I'm gonna try a different video editor.
Weird. Yeah, the one I was using for a while worked really well, but I can't remember the name of it now.
This is just on a list of like free video editors. They're supposed to be good. It was the top one. I didn't like it very much. Only thing about this game is the same issue there's always been, where you don't get very many cards for how much money you spent. It's saved up enough gold where you get gold from like doing quests and crap in the game to buy 50 packs, which would normally cost about $50. And I got 3 out of the like 20 legendary cards.
Huh.
So to get all those cards would take you what, $300-400, assuming the same luck that I had. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that does not sound pleasant or affordable.
No, not at all. There's no way to get new players into the game with crap like that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there was a long time ago I gave up on trying to get into Hearthstone.
Yeah, you kind of needed to be in the first 2 or 3 expansions, or you're just so far behind, unless you're spending money. Even then, in the arena you can do, and you get choice of cards if you're good at that kind of stuff. But even then, you need to be able to understand how the game works, and to understand how the game works, you need to play the constructed version.
Yeah, it's like trying to get into new things that are super complicated. Like, when's the last time you did that?
When I returned to World of Warcraft after not playing for like 5 years, just looking at the screen like, I have no idea what any of these buttons do. This was a horrible mistake.
Right.
Why did I do this?
Because yeah, it used to be. Did it used to be top down?
I think it's always been the way it is.
Huh.
The like Warcraft video games, or like standalone ones, 1 through 3, were all RTS, point click, where you want guys to go.
Right.
Yeah. That's about all on that. Watch some videos.
Yeah. Talking about trying to get into new things, because I've been trying to get back, well, I have been getting back in shape, and I can't run very far before my leg starts crapping out on me. I've been thought about like trying to get into getting a road bike, like a bicycle.
Hmm.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
There's like every single piece of the bike that exists can be like, there's just a ton of variations on every, the handles, the pedals, the tires, the frame, the seats, everything, the brakes,
Yeah.
everything is like, you can get like whatever you want, and a lot of it's not cheap. Yeah.
It certainly is not. I just ride the fake bike at the gym. Call it good.
Yeah. I don't have a gym membership.
I only do for the family, which I gotta figure out if we're gonna keep doing that once the pools close.
You got the Y?
Yep.
Yeah.
I kind of assumed it would be like super gross and there'd be a lot of weird people there, but it's actually pretty nice. And
Yeah, I used to go to the one on Central? There's one on Central, right?
It's one way out west.
Yeah, that's the one or no. There's two of them on Central, I think. One's way out west, and one's like closer to the. Anyways,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The one I went to was really clean. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, especially because the one I go to is the downtown one, which I assume would have like a lot of people who live in that area there, but apparently not. So yeah, it works out pretty well.
Yeah, no, the like every Y I've been to has been pretty decent, I think.
Yep.
I don't know if I trust the pools, but
Yeah, not so much.
like people seem to be pretty good about wiping down their own seats and wiping down their equipment when they're done using it and everything.
Yeah, it's always nice. Have anything coming up in the next week or so?
Like I said, trying to buy a bike. I just bought another. I've spent about $900 on my computer so far, but that's not taking into consideration a hard drive video card, and I just spent another 120 on a new hard drive, an NVMe like M.2 drive. So that's coming Wednesday, hopefully. So upgrade my PC even more, and then like truly the last thing for me to do is get a new video card, which I can put off for at least another year.
That's good.
Our company increased my what's it called, credit limit by $1,000, like without me asking or anything. It's been real hard not to. Like that's how I'm paying for all this stuff, and I'm able to pay it off. Like,
so you have to pay for that. It's not just like
No.
here's an extra $1,000.
no, I just paid 600 of it off or Friday when I got paid, and I can afford it. I just it makes it a little too convenient to make big purchases. But yeah, and nothing beyond my means.
That's good.
But
School started this week for some people in our town. I think my daughter doesn't go back for another 2 weeks, week and a half, something like that. But yeah, school starting's coming back up, which is nice.
yeah, it's
And
school, and I only notice because there's a school zone. So every morning when I go to work, I got
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go 20 instead of 40. And they started today.
say it's good, but at the same time, it means the exit I take for work is going to be backed up every single day.
Oh, that's a pain.
So that's really annoying. Other than that, SummerSlam's this Sunday. Some people would say it's bigger than WrestleMania at this point. So,
Who's what are you looking forward to there?
got a 4-way: Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman. Should be pretty good.
So they're gonna make Roman Reigns win that.
It's kind of up in the air because Brock Lesnar just said he's strongly considering going back to UFC
Okay.
after apparently his suspension is up, is the rumor.
I thought they weren't gonna let him come back.
There's some discussion about how most of the times they make people go into like a drug program, so he may be losing so he can start that program to then go into an actual match.
Yeah, he should. I don't know. Like do what makes you some money, but it doesn't seem like a great
See,
idea.
WWE's paying him at least millions of dollars for showing up every other month for 10 to 15 minutes of work.
Yeah. Well, he also does he does the press stuff too, right?
Not so much.
Really?
No. I mean, he'll show up to if they invite him on some TV show or something, but I don't even think he does very much of that.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Too busy.
Yeah.
Too busy ranching.
Yeah. I think he lives in Minnesota and just goes hunting all the time.
He's raising diverticulitis.
That's not nice.
That's not an animal.
That's the disease he had that almost killed him.
My bad.
Same difference. Plugs are the same as every week. Twitter has been blown up been doing Twitter things.
Yeah.
So check us out on there. Got a bunch of new followers and stuff. Got a few listens to the show. I think we're up to like 10 downloads of our last show.
Wow.
So double digits.
Pretty impressive.
I mean, just keep rolling from there, I guess.
No stopping this train.
Exactly. Some reviews on iTunes would be nice, though. I like those. Or send us an email, thursdayketchup@gmail.com. You can be on the show. We can be friends. It's cool.
Definitely email.
Definitely do that.
Be on the show.
I didn't mention our sponsor, Master Lee's Kung Fu and Social Interaction Dojo. Google them. See what they're about.
I hear the music playing over this right now.
That's totally happening. Because that is all for this week. Come back next Thursday. We will catch up again.
Bye.